There was no mention made of any November meeting that was held before the directive that was issued on the 31st of December. It certainly wasn't mentioned by General Masemola. In fact, you can reference his affidavit and you'll see that he was caught totally by surprise by the decision of the minister on the 31st of December, because it hadn't been raised with him at all. And the last time he had seen the minister, I don't know if you were at the same event on the 28th of December. There was an event in KZN. Nothing was mentioned. It wasn't mentioned to us, so we could not have spoken about any minute of a meeting. Even if you did mention it, you could have said there was a meeting and you don't have the minute. If I can just refer you to your affidavit or your statement on page 20 and page 21. Your references to November, you'll see at paragraph 57. You said you also learned in November 2024 of a complaint that was lodged by Professor Mary de Haas. And on the 4th of November, you say that Professor de Haas addressed a complaint to the minister about calling for the immediate disbandment of PKTT. The complaint was sent to the portfolio committee. And then you say, I received a copy of the complaint through the office of the National Commission on the 6th of November. And then at paragraph 63, this is what you say. I was not aware of any high-level discussions in relation to the disbandment of the PKTT prior to the minister's directive. So it was never mentioned. And in fact, there was no such meeting in November. If you agree or accept that, then we can move on quickly.
Chair, the paragraph that I read, that come from the minutes that was taken from the minute in the meeting, that what I jot down myself for that meeting. I don't think I'm wrong that there was a meeting at the college where that was expressed, and then I don't deny that maybe here I'm saying that, but it's possible that could be an oversight.
My apology to disrupt the senior counsel. I'm getting more and more worried now, generally. Chair, through you, Chair.
So, Chief.
Yes, you see, the senior counsel is bringing to the attention of the general what he said in paragraph 63. And just to quote one sentence, I was not aware of any high-level discussion in relation to the disbandment of the PKTT prior to the minister's directive. But earlier on, which is the matter I was raising with him, he read his own personal notes in which he made reference to this matter on the November meeting. Now, Chair, which one should we accept? I'm asking you, Chair. Maybe you'll ask the general on my behalf. Must we accept his written note, or we should accept his sworn-in statement? Which one is he amending now, which we must go home with? Thanks.
General. Chair, I acknowledge and I accept that this is my statement, and that I can see paragraph 63 says, I was not aware of any high-level discussion in relation to the disbandment of the PKTT prior to the minister's directive. I have, however, been requested to expedite the establishment of a murder and robbery unit. So, and when I look at the paragraphs here, for an example, when I go to page 167, in page 167, it talks about this project had a dual purpose. The main purpose of this investigation is to determine the implementation status of specialized units that were established and reviewed in the detective service in 2016. Now, and when you go to page 76, it talks about the worst crime capacity 25%, that is normally better off at 25%. Murder and robbery unit are at 18%. Now we say here, the reason for the establishment of the unit was to ensure that provincial directed investigations could be conducted with the alternative function to also replace the numerous task teams that were functioning at provincial level. Now, it is necessary to look at the status of this provincial investigation unit capacities and make a decision based on implementation or possibly to close down the capacities at provincial level. This would also alleviate the need to establish the capacity without a need in the current circumstances where there are continuous budget cuts, especially for the compensation. Closure of the provincial investigation unit would then relieve some pressure on the additional unit capacity. Now, these task teams should be placed within the murder and robbery units. So what I'm just trying to say is that there's a work study that was conducted where the National Commissioner even say expedite and implement. Now, in terms of that meeting of the, that I say is of the 27th, this is the notes that I made. So maybe perhaps I need to just verify the date that it was on the 27th of November, Chair.
Chair, can we move on? There was clearly no meeting in November. If the General wants to go home tonight or tomorrow and find a minute of that meeting, then he can make it available to us. The evidence is clear, his own evidence, his own, this is an affidavit that he signed. So he said under oath to us, and it squares with what General Masemola had also told us. Now,
can I check if the chief whip is satisfied?
I can wait because I think for the train that is following.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry, Chair, we're about certified. This is an affidavit that was signed by the General on the 8th of October, looks like in Sandton. Can we, I thought I'd be quite short so that you can agree with me and we can all go home. Can we agree that the proposed or intended closure or termination of the PKTT never happened, so that objective was never achieved?
Yes.
Can we also agree that the purpose of closing the PKTT was also never achieved? The purpose being to close it because of whatever reason was given. You were never involved with the PKTT.
Yes.
Never involved with the PKTT.
Yes.
We know, again, on the facts, that the dockets, you ordered the dockets to be brought to head office. You didn't receive it physically, but the dockets were brought, and what you were given was a schedule of what was in the docket. And you spent quite a bit of time going through various cases, and you said, in fact, some of these cases were never investigated, 2014, 2016, all kinds of things. And it appeared that these dockets were actually being neglected according to what you tried to demonstrate to us.
I never ordered the dockets to be brought to head office. I said they must meet, they must exchange the docket to the divisional commissioner and then decide on a place or repository where they must be kept or stored so that they can be evaluated, inspected, and
Yes.
taken to where they belong.
Yes, you ordered that. You ordered Khumalo to do that. And
Yes.
that's what Khumalo did. So they first brought the first batch of docket, 118 dockets, 28th of March. And then they brought the balance, the 3 Eastern Cape dockets in April.
Yes.
Those dockets were evaluated by some analysts, and none of these dockets, some of them appeared to be cold, as the technical term. Others, they appeared not to have been worked on, or people hadn't been arrested, and their instructions were to do the arrests. Now, why would you have done that when these dockets were then lying in that office for 4 or 5 months, even further neglected? You, the head of the detectives. Why didn't you order these dockets to be returned so that they could be worked on and that arrest could be effected and the dockets either closed or activated or people taken to court? You, the head of the detectives.
Counsel, I find this question to really be so unfair because the process was, if we are deactivating and we are taking the docket to murder and robbery unit, and the docket were taken to murder and robbery unit, and the provincial commissioner rejected them. It's not that I said they must be brought to head office.
Okay. So again, that wasn't, and that's actually where I wanted to go. That wasn't done either. The dockets were now going to be taken to murder and robbery. They weren't done either. They were just there for 4 or 5 months.
No, for 3 months.
For 3 months.
Yes.
However long.
Yes.
The victims of crime, they want to see justice, and they don't want to see a delay in their matters, especially where killings are involved and families are involved, who are the victims of these killings.
Am I able to ask a question, Chair?
Ask the senior counsel. Yes, you can ask him.
Does the council ever accept the fact that the docket was supposed to be taken to KZN and the KZN Provisional Commission rejected them?
But the dockets were never, we've heard that. The dockets, he said no, that because he was not the custodian of the dockets. The documents should have been returned to Sentumile and Khumalo. Khumalo is the project leader of PKTT. Why wasn't it restored to them?
But he took them finally.
Why would it go to Mkhwanazi? He said, no, you don't give it to me. I'm not going to accept this. But that's still beside the point that I'm trying to make, is that these dockets, this is a case of neglect. This is a case of negligence, of cases that are now being investigated, 121 cases. By some of your best detectives, you've said this PKTT have done good work. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but something to that effect. And now the head of the detectives, through a circular, has said to Khumalo, bring the dockets. It was taken, it was evaluated, it lied there for 3 months. Then it gets sent back to Mkhwanazi, who never had the dockets in the first place. And then it lies there for a further couple of months. And it's again further neglected.
You know, Counsel, when a transaction happened between General Khumalo and General Sintumule, the exchange docket, General Sintumule get the docket, and she's taking them to where they belong in KZN. And the PC rejected them. Nobody sees a mistake there. Nobody sees the fact that why did the PC reject the docket. And everybody find it okay that the PC can say, no, I don't want them. because I don't know how they got to head office. Whatever delay that is caused, that the PC was right to say, no, I don't want them. The only mistake that everybody sees is that, not necessarily everybody, but the only mistake that has been seen here is that, no, he refused the docket, they were taken to head office. Not under my watch. I didn't say bring them to head office. So,
No, but you took the decision, General Sibiya. We know that. You said you followed orders on this. In fact, you were enthusiastically following these orders without yourself ever asking what the PKTT were doing, what they were up to, how they were operating. It was only on the 7th that you send a directive to Khumalo, bring me these dockets. Or words to that effect. You say, and give me, this is what you ordered him to do a closing report, isn't it? And that closing report would only emerge later. You didn't even wait for the closing report, because on the 15th, you went to General Masemola and he said to you, go to Rabi in the office to write this thing up. And then you came back and honorable member, the chief whip here next to me, already raised this with you. You came with the first document, which had the National Commissioner's name and a space for him to sign. He refused to sign it. He said to you, leave it, I'll deal with it. Instead, you went back to Rabi, you came back with the same document, without his signature, and you signed the signature. In fact, just quickly to pause there, that is why you've been charged in a disciplinary inquiry. We know that Provincial Commissioner Patekile was the investigating officer, and you've been charged with that, isn't it?
Chair, I don't really appreciate or agree with the council, because if the council is aware that the National Commissioner said, leave it, I will do it myself, or I'll take it from there. And then from there, as the National Commissioner said, that since then, my letter or my instruction took precedence, meaning that since then, everything that happened because of the National Commissioner's instruction. And to an extent that even on the meeting of the 6th and the 5th and the 7th, the meeting of the 6th and the 7th, the head, the leader of the task team outlined the plan, his plan.
General Sibiya, it's late. We've traversed this. We've spent hours on this.
Sure.
That is not what the 5th, at the meeting on the 5th or the 6th had been. On the 6th, there was still that dissatisfaction. That meeting was adjourned until the 27th. You keep on referring to the 6th, and you look at those dates where it says end of March. Then you wrote another letter and you said you want it closed by the 24th of April. That also didn't happen, because the only thing that happened on the 24th was Khumalo brought you the 3 other Eastern Cape dockets. But at the end of the day, you agreed with me earlier. The PKTT was not closed. You put in a budget on the 12th of July. That budget was rejected by the National Commissioner. And on the 27th, General Mkhwanazi put in a budget proposal for the PKTT. That was approved, and we now know it's common cause that the PKTT at least is going to operate until the 26th of March next year. I thought we had agreed on all these facts.
No, we don't agree, certainly, Council, because I feel you are oppressing me, basically, because we've discussed this thing earlier, and we went step by step, and then we showed that everything that happened according to the plan as approved by the National Commissioner. Even in his own acknowledgement, he acknowledged that he gave instruction. He acknowledged he gave instruction to Brigadier Lutuku to write me that email that she wrote to me. The email that I responded to, or the disbandment letter that I activated, come from the National Commissioner's office through General Sibiya's office. Why is the council not really considering that part of?
Okay, can we agree this? Has the PKTT been disbanded? No. You followed his instruction to disband it, but it hasn't been disbanded. Does it mean that both of you are in trouble now because you're not following his instructions?
It never was disbanded. Hence, it is still operating.
No, the only time it wasn't disbanded. The only time where its work was deliberately frustrated and postponed was when the dockets were ordered to come to head office in Pretoria, and it was lying there for 3 months when the team couldn't operate.
Yes, Senior Counsel,
Okay.
do you still have questions to ask?
Chair, I want clarity.
Because I'm afraid that you are debating the issues now with the witness. Honorable Sauls.
Your Chair, my hand was up very long. And it feels like we're starting all over again. But I want clarity on the question on the dockets. We heard testimony. Where did the dockets come from? One, clarity. Where did they come from senior counsel? Two, the dockets that was now sent back, are they of cases that occurred in KZN? So if you send it back, if so, you send it back to KZN because that's where the cases must be dealt with. So I just want to get clarity. Where was the dockets before it was removed? And where must those cases be investigated? Which province?
Honorable members, I want us to come to an end of the proceedings because when the senior counsel requested me to give him a minute, it was to clarify matters that would not have been clarified by the witness.
Can I get clarity, please?
Yeah, or if you so wish, I can note a further set of hands.
No, Chair, can the SC just clarify for me? I want to understand.
SC?
Now, answer very quickly. The answer is quite simple.
Yes.
The dockets came from KZN and they were returned to KZN.
So why is the witness being interrogated about why it was sent back to KZN?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I thought that would be quite quick.
So did
Okay, Chief Whip.
May proceed. You see, Lieutenant General Khumalo, who's the head of the task team, says that in fact, the purpose of asking for those dockets was not about the PKTT. It was being analyzed and examined to see whether any of these Gauteng cartel drug-related cases were being investigated by the PKTT. Do you want to comment on that?
Just to ask a question, General Khumalo testified before this committee, Chair.
No, he hasn't testified before this committee. I'm putting it to you. I'm giving you an opportunity to answer to it.
I hear the evidence leaders in Lieutenant General Khumalo says.
Yes.
Are you communicating with General Khumalo?
Well, no. We're all listening to, he's already testified and before he fell ill in the commission. He is going to testify before this committee, well, not officially yet. I'm sure that everyone wants to hear what he's got to say. He was the project leader of the team.
Chair, I don't know, I don't want to get the impression that the chair keep on getting, the evidence here keep on getting messages and then the questions carry on and on. I just don't want to make those allegations.
Did you know about the arrest of Katiso Molefe on the 6th of December?
I didn't know.
Why didn't you know? You right there in Gauteng, the arrest was effected by the Gauteng, one of your units.
I heard when it happens, but I didn't know before.
Point of order, Chair. It's after midnight. We are starting the process all over again. And we are being made to sit here to listen to this. Please, Chair, make a ruling. I beg of you. We've heard these questions.
I have made a ruling, Honorable Source. I had said that the senior counsel must clarify issues that need clarity.
Do you know Cedric Nkabinde?
Yes, I do. Nkabinde,
Yes.
the chief of staff of the minister.
Do you know Lesecha Sinona, who is also the head of the Hawks in KZN?
I know him.
Do you know the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Chief Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi?
No, I don't.
You know Kelvin Rafadi?
I know him.
Yes.
I know him.
Do you know Matlala?
Matlala,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you know Mkhotsi?
Chair, I know, and I mean, the whole day we've been talking about Mkhwanazi and Matlalas and this type of questions. Really.
Do you know Suleiman Karim?
No.
You see why I ask you this? These are all people who are mentioned in the WhatsApps. They are all linked to the drug cartels in Gauteng. Now, the point had been made by several of the honorable members that sometimes, not sometimes, most times, all of us, we are known by the company that we keep. You know all of these people. Because it's so late, I'm not even going to ask you, do you have all their numbers on your cell phone?
No.
So, perhaps the last point I must make is this. Is that and it's again a point that's been made by some of the honorable, or an observation rather, for your comment. It's quite disturbing because it relates to the terms, one of the terms of reference of this honorable committee is how can we restore trust and confidence in the police? Now, it's surely disturbing for anybody to hear that there's phone tapping, there is data tampering at high levels in the police. You say this is being done or perceived to be done by some of your opponents. So I want to ask you, how are you expecting members of the public listening to the evidence or watching this on TV? How do we remedy this? And how do we restore the trust and confidence of the police in them?
I think the recommendations from this ad hoc committee will contribute to how this matter should be handled forward.
Thank you. Thank you, General. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thanks very much, Senior Counsel, Chief Whip.
No, Chair, mine is just one question. You remember that, I didn't finish, but I was happy this matter arises now. We are not going to have another session with General Sibiya in terms of our schedule. So I would like to find out, what are we taking home with us between paragraph 63 and the private note that the General presented to our meeting? What should we take home between the two? Which one should we disregard? That's the all I wanted to check. Thanks.
Okay. General?
Chair, if I can be allowed to confirm the date of the 27th of November, and then I'll submit a written submission in relation to that.
Okay.
Yes, if possible, if I can be allowed, Chair.
Okay. Is that fine, Chief? Are you fine? I want you to say it.
Okay, I'm not fine, Chair, but I can accept it.
He is requesting that we allow him to make a written submission.
Okay, so at the moment, it means we take home the contradiction until further notice.
Yeah, until you
Thank
have
you.
that written
Thank you very
submission,
much.
which clarifies. Yeah, Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. I know, I thought we'll finish at 2, but we finished too early. I just wanted to ask the General, you spoke about murder and robbery squad. I think murder and robbery unit. Do we have one in KZN or Mpumalanga or Northwest? We in all the provinces, do we have murder and robbery unit?
I think they are, at this present moment, I cannot confirm how many or where, because I've been out of the system for quite some time. So I think they are a chair, but even this document that says the establishment must be expedited by the DNC. So I don't know. So